Hello and welcome back to the Skill-Based Minicast. I am your host, Frazier, along with my co-host, DJ,
Hello.
Brandon,
Hello.
Adrian,
Also, hello.
and Mikey.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about Back 4 Blood, which has been out for a full day now, and we would like to give you our thoughts on it as its own game and as a successor to the Left 4 Dead series. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
I'm just gonna start with I don't like shooters. This was kind of good.
He really doesn't.
Yeah, this
No.
was kind of good. The only thing that made me not like it more was the fact that that campaign is fucking long.
And hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Also,
Like, you guys ran me through it on easy like a little while ago, and
Yeah,
if that was on any harder, I would have rage quit.
yeah, honestly, I don't blame you too. Like, there's definitely a bit of a learning curve. Also, why the fuck?
yeah.
am I
From easy to hard is like hitting a triathlon.
I
Dude, just the one spot where we all died for the first time on the easy mode. It's like I do not want to see that on a higher difficulty because oh my god, we wouldn't get halfway up that little alleyway.
I'm
will
telling
do it,
you
don't
right
worry.
now. Yeah, we're gonna do it eventually. Hopefully
We'll get to
before the beta ends. But
Yeah,
literally going from recruit to veteran, the drastic increase of special infected is massive. They're constantly on you.
For context, I'd like to point out to the audience, myself, Brandon, Adrian, and Mikey, we ran it yesterday. And we started it on the veteran difficulty because we thought that was going to be the equivalence of normal. And coming from a guy that's played Left 4 Dead on expert realism, I was like, okay, this should just be a nice brush up. Shouldn't be too bad, shouldn't be too hard. The amount of special infected that were on the veteran difficulty was vastly overwhelming comparing to what I've been hearing on the easy difficulty, which I did not play with them. They played with Frazier on that difficulty today.
yeah, that was.
Oh, yeah.
It was
a noticeable
night and
difference.
day.
Yeah. That being said, though, once the bruisers started spawning, or the tall boys rather, man, their spawn rate was noticeable.
Oh yeah.
Like, we literally went like the first 7 missions without seeing a single tall boy, and then 8 and 9 were literally nothing but tall boys and reekers.
you'll know what those tall boys are when you see them.
And just the occasional hawker just to make things harder.
Just the
That much
occasional
more
hawk
difficult.
just shrinks you a little bit.
No, a little bit more context for those that have yet to play Back 4 Blood or Left 4 Dead. When you hear the term special infected, they're not regular zombies. They're zombies that have abilities, and in this case, with the Bruiser, he's this big, oversized zombie that drags this muscle-bound arm behind him, and he beats the crap out of you with it relentlessly.
And if you're me indeed, you just pit like it's a Denny's. More on that later.
A lot more on that later. We were
See you,
beat.
DJ.
But
Anyways,
just in the
real-
campaign mode. Go ahead, Brandon.
I was about to say, before we get too far into this, I do want to point out that this game is made by the, I guess, former creators of the Left 4 Dead series that everyone all knows and loves.
Yes.
They are
it shows.
Does play a lot like the Left 4 Dead.
they
Yeah,
are
it shows.
currently known as Turtle Rock Studios. They are the creators of Back 4 Blood. And honestly, the way I've seen it compared to Left 4 Dead in this game, it is so similar, but yet so different. But
Unique in its own way.
yeah, it
Yeah,
feels similar
I
to the point where it's like, wow, I've been here before. I enjoyed this feeling. It's like
Been
we're
here
going
before, but I don't
home.
recognize it.
It's like we're going home to like something that's
I
new
have
and
no
improved.
memory of this place.
We're going home, but to a home we've never been to before.
Yo, like, I'm just gonna say it. I think it's fair to say this was an upgrade.
I
Oh,
enjoyed
definitely.
this thoroughly. Like, I thought this was... I felt the same aspects of what I would play actual Left 4 Dead in this current game, but with the dynamics that they implemented this time, I'm like, okay, this is the same concept, but it's a whole different game. Because with something like this, you don't want to just do a complete rip-off of Left 4 Dead, but at the same time, you don't want to stray too far different to where people would be like, that's not what you're known for or good with. So I
You were
think they hit the
expecting
nail.
from them.
Like, I think they hit the nail on the head very well with
Oh
this.
yeah.
And I really
No,
do like the integration of like modern day shooter mechanics with like hipfire bloom and aim down sights, and they just kind of ran with it with the attachments you can find along the map and put on your guns, make them better and all that.
Oh, bro, the array of weapons available to you, it was almost overwhelming. Like,
That's another thing. I love the amount of guns we have available to us.
oh yeah, I thought it was
yeah.
great.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I thought we were just gonna be sticking with like just maybe hunting rifles and a few assault rifles and maybe some shotguns, but no, they have a huge variety.
Yeah, the selection of weapons is definitely a huge plus.
Like in what was in the original Left 4 Dead, you had like 2 types of pistols: the regular pistol and the deagle, 2 marksman rifles, 2 ARs, and 2 shotguns. And was there 2 SMGs or was it just the one?
I was using the Vector, and then there's the UMP5.
No, in
Left 4 Dead.
Oh,
Left 4 Dead,
Left 4
it was
Dead, I apologize.
Uzi and
it was the suppressed one.
So it was the same gun but with a suppressor on it.
yeah,
I
in
don't
Left 4
think it
Dead
was
2, they added
Wasn't
like
it a Mac?
suppressed variants to it.
Oh,
no?
that wasn't only. Oh yeah, you're right. That wasn't too, huh?
Yeah, in Left 4 Dead 1, it was like the Uzi and like something else.
But I definitely give them an exceeding amount of credit at here's an array of weapons, here's an array of attachments that you can put on these weapons to make your weapon more efficient to you and your playstyle. The only drawback is because it's RNG of what weapons you're going to find in the world, you kind of can't expect yourself to get proficient with one weapon in the shooting range and then that weapon doesn't show up anywhere in the campaign.
I like that though. I feel like that keeps the game fresh and it
Yeah.
keeps it running
I
into the
agree-
same
I
build
absolutely
over and
agree with
over.
that.
100%.
Sorry, the competitive guy over here has to chime in with his bullshit 2 cents.
No, it's understandable. That
No,
being
it-
said, though, about the mechanics, and sorry to cut you off, Teach, but I know
You're good.
this is also a really hot topic for people. I enjoy card-based systems. I think they work really well. I think they're really fun.
This is the first one I've liked in a very long time.
There it is.
Yeah,
I think it was done well. Even
On-
for a controversial kind of mechanic, I think it was done really well, in my opinion.
Yeah, honestly, when it comes to card-based mechanics, there are games that I do enjoy them in, but there are games that do it to the extreme to where it's either too strong and then the game becomes boring, or it's too weak to the point where what's the point? And here, it's to the point where it's not overpowered, but yet it's also very helpful. Like they
Yeah,
actually
you
can make
notice.
a difference. Like something as simple as turning your melee or like your gun bash from a fist to a knife is so drastic.
I appreciate the fact that it wasn't too overly complicated. It was very simple. Read the text and that's it.
That's
but it
what
was
you
also
get,
very
yeah.
very effective. To where the only thing you had to think about when you're picking your what is it, like 4 cards, right?
It scales
can
up
either-
as you progress.
Like
Yeah.
scales up as you progress, but the 4 cards that you pick could either only affect yourself, or you can pick team-based cards that would stack if everybody else did too. So like if I picked something up that was a plus 10 team ammo capacity, and say hypothetically Mikey does too, now we have plus 20 because they stack on top of each other. So there's ways to really help your team out while also protecting yourself with
Well-
these cards.
Real quick, disclaimer to anyone listening. The pick 4 cards that he is mentioning is in versus. In campaign, each level begins with you picking 1.
Yeah, I was about to just bring that up.
Oh, well, my bad.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
get to the versus part
same
later on,
principle.
though.
Yeah, same principle, but yeah.
Same
Yeah,
principle.
you saw the ability to help your team out. But the one drawback, especially if you're me, as soon as you leave easy difficulty, friendly fire's on. And I found that
Oh,
one
yeah.
out.
Love
Fire.
If we were doing friendly fire, I'm pretty sure I would have killed all you guys at least twice today.
Oh,
I would have
I
accidentally killed
Yeah.
so many times.
I got downed by them more a good amount of times, but I don't blame them. It is 100% my fault because I picked one of the melee characters, Holly,
Holly.
whom has an attribute to stamina and melee capabilities. So she starts with a spiked baseball bat, and as a Left 4 Dead player, I love meleeing. Especially in Left 4 Dead 2, the frying pan. I will go nuts with a frying
Boing.
pan. So the sound of the frying pan and the guitar were fantastic, but in this game, she starts with a spiked baseball bat. That is her starting weapon, and I love meleeing. I start going to town on some of the Ridden's head, and the Ridden are the zombies that we're facing. And I didn't realize, well, I didn't quite understand how I was taking damage when I was swinging. I was taking damage from my own teammates because I was in their way.
In all fairness, we kept telling you.
Oh yeah, they kept telling me, but as a melee character, my objective is to move, and I kept on getting in their way. And again, I'm not faulting them; it's 100% on me. But that's the one drawback with this is depending on not even the character that you pick, it's like it will heavily be based off of what your play style is. That you could be either a huge help or a huge hindrance to the team. And in this game, since it was our very first time playing, I was 100% the hindrance.
That also being said, and yes, you are, I really enjoy the fact that character individuality, I feel like it's not like super important, but the difference is very noticeable, and I appreciate that. Like, I really do. Like, the one insta pickup as Mom, so helpful. The 10 stamina as Molly, so helpful. The
So
ML
helpful.
Dude, like, that I feel like is a mechanic that was definitely needed for a system like that. Because if it just had a card system, I don't think I would like it as much. I really don't.
And there's still 3 players that are still locked that we won't have access to until the game actually fully releases.
Yeah, we don't even know what they
Yeah,
do.
that's true.
We don't know what the role is
Yeah.
going to be.
That's very
They
true.
look cool.
Yeah, so each character has their own attributes that can help a team. They also have their own starting weapons. Like I said earlier, Molly. I'm not Molly. Holly. She starts with a spiked baseball bat. Mom starts with a double barrel snub nose shotgun that
That
fires
thing
both
sucks.
rounds.
Yeah, I was
It's-
playing. Who
It's
was
great
it?
at close range.
Yeah, I was playing the. God, I can't remember what his name was off the top of my
I
head.
don't know
but
his name.
There's
Yeah, he
Walker.
starts off
There's
with a machete.
Hoffman, and then the Evangelo.
Evangelo,
That's
there we
the
go.
one.
Yeah, that guy was fun. I liked him.
Yeah, I didn't think that ability was going to be as good as it turned out to
And
be.
his
I read it,
his
I'm like,
ability
yeah,
is that
that's
he has
great.
the ability, kind of like some of the creatures can grab you, and he has an ability that helps him escape easier
Yeah,
than other
literally once per
characters.
minute, you just
Much
escape.
easier.
Yeah, because there was a couple times where I got grabbed and I broke out almost immediately before you guys even had a chance to help me.
Well, basically immediately, yeah. Yeah, no, that was like I said. I really genuinely don't think I would have liked the game as much if character individuality wasn't as prevalent as it is. Like, I think that's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Turtle Rock, they did fantastic with this. There's a couple of bugs that they need to work out, and like
It's
you
a
know
beta.
exactly.
Yeah. This is what the beta. This is for.
And
Yep.
for a beta, it's a pretty good one too. I've played.
Oh, yeah.
multiple
I mean, the
betas.
only issues we've run into are just connectivity with like the servers and matchmaking and all
Yeah,
that.
it's just server side stuff. Oh,
That
speaking
was
You
of-
gotta
my-
imagine
that was my
that's
biggest one.
high traffic though.
I did fall
Oh,
through
yeah.
the map twice.
We both
Three
did.
times actually. You fell through the map. No, Dean, you and I got stuck outside of a map. I've fallen through it twice.
But I also jumped through the map with you when we were on multiplayer, but we can discuss that momentarily.
Oh no, that's because there was a hole in the ground. I just clipped through.
Oh, I did too. I literally fell.
Oh, did oh,
I was right beside you. I was looking at you while we were falling.
Interesting. I don't seem to recall that. I might have. Interesting.
I
Anyway,
was looking right at you because we were still trapped outside the map when we respawned. Well, I was anyway.
no, in the campaign, DJ, I clipped through the floor.
Oh, okay, that did not happen to me.
Yeah.
Oh, now I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going through the concrete building, and you just dropped to the floor below it.
Yeah.
Fell into the
But-
ether.
But the one thing that I want to know, just because I wasn't able to play with you guys today, you guys were on easy difficulty, and I know it's going to be mainly Mikey, Adrian, and Brandon because they'll have the input on it. Tell me the vast differences between easy and veteran.
Okay.
I did not
Who
have
wants
to
to
worry
start?
about ammo as much.
Actually, you know what? First off, right off the bat, first level, from going from veteran to easy, first level on easy, I saw no special infected until we got to the drawbridge that we had to lower to get into the concrete building
And
or
it blew me off
construction
the
site.
fucking map.
Yeah,
I
construction
remember
site.
that one.
Yeah, he
Oh,
got
aren't
blown up by an exploder off the map. But
Real quick, how many acts are there? Because we only got to Act 3 before we TPK'd and ran
technically,
out of
it's
our
all
So, like,
Act
Act-
1. It's all Act
Yeah, it's
1.
Act 1,
It's
yeah.
just really there's like
It's 9
8
parts
levels.
long.
9 parts. Like in Left 4
Something like
Dead,
that.
how many safe
Something
houses
like
before you
that.
reach the end of the game? Or
Yeah.
reach the end of the level?
Yeah, but literally,
9
first
parts.
level, I saw
Wait.
it took a while to get
Really?
to a special infected, but in veteran, they were there immediately.
Immediately.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the hugest difference. And on top of that, we never saw a tall boy until like what,
Act 6.
something like that.
I mean, not-
Yeah,
not-
No,
like
it was like
Six.
I think 4.
It was
Yeah, for-
further than 4.
it was
Was
Was it
further.
4?
For
Yeah.
context, when they talk about tall boys, we're referring to the
ones
special
that are
effected
tall.
called a bruiser and a crusher.
I would say I would say safely the 6th level is when we got our first tall boy.
Yeah, it was at least 5. I can guarantee
Mhm.
that.
It was a ways in.
Yeah, I always saw
Yeah.
up to that point were just exploders and the occasional stinger or hawker. That was it.
And exploders sort of look like the tanks from Left 4 Dead, but as we call them exploders, they explode when you shoot them enough.
That is true.
And also manually detonate on verses, which is super helpful.
Yeah, it is.
And then
I-
the spitters. I know there's 2. One of them just like hits you with poison that
The
does
hawker
damage, and that's the
stinger?
hawker.
The stinger
Yeah,
and
the
hawker.
hawker. Yeah,
So the hawker, if I'm correct, is the one that I was
Spiderweb.
using. And hold on, so the one that you just spit at them and they take damage. That's the hawker.
That's the stinger.
That's
Okay.
That's the stinger. Yeah.
And then the hawker is the one that shoots out, and if it hits, that person is rooted in place.
Yes.
Correct.
Because I just want to clarify so that way they have context of what we're talking about when we bring
Yeah,
up the
okay.
name of a
Understandable.
special.
Yeah, and if there's another special affected that we need to mention is a Riker, wasn't it?
Reeker.
Reeker.
The Reekers,
Which is
yeah.
basically the same thing as an exploder, except it can spit at you
Vomit.
just like a boomer would in Left 4 Dead 2, and it also explodes. It's the same thing as
Is it
as a
in-
boomer,
on the
except the vomit has
yeah,
damage
pretty
over
much.
time, or it does take damage.
Damage over time while still getting you
And
attracted
when
by...
when they die, they do leave a pool of like acid and whatnot at their feet for a short period of time too. Because I walked through it a couple times, not realizing what it
Yeah.
was.
It's devastating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They can be very devastating.
Because for context, going back to the campaign, when we were running it on veteran difficulty, which was the 2nd difficulty, there's still a 3rd one called Nightmare, which none of us have tried yet. Straight out the gate, we not only being hit with the ridden, the actual just like base zombies that you face, we would get hit with several special infecteds back to back to back to back.
They were coordinated.
Like it
As
almost
a
felt
unit.
it almost felt like, dude, you know what? I was talking too much shit to the director in Left 4 Dead 2. He never did this to us. Not like that, to that degree. We got victimized.
And keep in mind, we think veteran is already difficult. We have not even tried Nightmare, and honestly, I'm scared to.
I'm scared, but I'm
seen
down to
the
do it with the
videos.
boys.
I've seen the videos
Oh,
of
we should do
people just going straight into Nightmare and die right off the beginning area of spawn room. They just die right out front the door. I'm just like,
I
what
don't
the
know
hell
that.
is that?
Oh, let's just do it. It'll be fun.
I'm
It's
very
one of
down
those,
to
like,
do
we-
it though.
Yeah,
Because we only got to, for us that played on veteran, we only got to part 3. That's how much of a struggle we were having of the campaign.
I was not.
We only got
too
to
high.
part 3 before we got TPK'd and we ran out of continues because you only get 3 chances. And if everybody TPK standing for total party kill, if everybody dies, you get 3 chances to do this again. And if you don't succeed in those 3 chances, you start over at the very fucking beginning.
Honestly, I don't mind that. I think it's.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it either, but it would just be so deflating. Like if we were to get to like Act 7, Act 8, and then we run out of continues because we all died, and now we have to start back at part 1.
I like that though. Like this game genuinely made me white knuckle my controller. It's
Like I'm actually
tense.
experiencing gamer
bet.
rage.
I was, dude. Like that shit shook me.
Yeah, no, that's one reason why I said, like, if I played this game on the veteran difficulty, I definitely would have rage quit.
And even then, the veteran difficulty wasn't that horrible as long as you guys had the ability. As long as your team was coordinated enough to take down whatever special was in front of you, but also keep the situational awareness of how much, like how many ridden are around you too. Oh yeah, and word of advice, audience: don't shoot the crows.
Another thing, if you're a healer, don't run in first, DJ.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounded really
Every
pointed towards DJ.
single time.
Before we get into that and my faults on this gameplay, ladies and gentlemen, there will be in this map these groups of crows. They're not going to bother you or whatsoever, but if you shoot them or do anything to startle them, they will make a bunch of noise and you will trigger a horde. So it's not like Left 4 Dead where if you take too long, a horde just comes to you. If you interact with these crows, a horde is triggered immediately and you will be flooded with a mix of special infected and standard ridden zombies. Now, me personally, even though I'm the one that was standing in front and getting shot at by my teammates because I'm dumb, these crows, especially if you have like a penetration perk or you were just firing at one zombie and it happened to like go into these crows can be activated by anything. And that horde that the crows trigger is so overwhelming. You boys can attest.
That horde is like at higher.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you forgot to mention there's some areas that have up to 4 flocks of crows in one spot.
And they technically are in areas where you have to run forward to get to like a safe area or like a house or some sort of building, an objective per se.
Yeah, it's either run through them and risk the horde, or take the long way around.
It's like you run the risk of like either A, you have to run forward and startle them, or you're in a heavily dense area that you have to fight your way out of, and you run the risk of shooting in that direction and hitting one of the crows and activating them. So now the heavily dense area turns into a fucking mosh pit of undead. Not just Brandon, Adrian did it too yesterday.
No, shit.
I don't know what you mean.
I mean, shit, I think we've all done it at least once.
Oh yeah,
I did it like twice.
Dude, our first run through.
You did miss it today, DJ. I literally just told Fairy how the crows work, and then one stray bullet went through a couple ridden and like triggered a crow. And Brian started talking shit, and then literally 10 seconds later, he shot another.
Yeah.
Oh no!
That was fun.
So thankfully, that was on like the easiest difficulty, because that
would have been rough.
From what you guys were explaining to me before, what was it before I joined you, like on the veteran or the harder difficulties? Yeah, that would not have been fun for me at all.
Like maybe we're just like bitch tier gamers, and veteran isn't that hard, but we struggled. And on the first campaign, when it comes to like our first try at the campaign, I'm sitting there swinging my baseball bat. I see the crows, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna hit these things. Maybe they do something." They do.
Oh, you found out they do.
Oh yeah. And because we're playing on veteran, there was about 3 brawlers, 2 exploders, and 1 stinger, all just assaulting us on top of the regular ridden. That
aren't strong, but they pour in.
Oh, I'm also gonna let you know, even after all that, we still never ran into a shrieker.
I know. That's the scary
It's weird,
thing.
right?
Yeah.
Like, literally, a shrieker is basically the equivalent of, like, if anyone has played World War Z, it's basically the equivalent of a screamer. If you shoot this shrieker, it's going to scream and it's going to call in a bunch of zombies. Basically equivalent of like a horde and a freaking half, I swear. The only way to kill it is if you melee it. to death because shooting it will just cause it to scream.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to reiterate, this is just between the difficulties of easy and veteran, which is the second difficulty. None of us have yet to touch Nightmare, the
No, I'm
third
good. I enjoy having
difficulty.
fun.
I mean,
want
playing
to try.
multiplayer against us is like nightmare.
Might as
Oh,
well
let's
be.
get into that.
You know what? Yeah, let's.
Let's just get into this.
I didn't mean to transition. I'm sorry. But,
Let's get into this now. So
oh
multiplayer
god.
was such a good time for the first 3 matches.
Let that sink.
I had a
3
good time
matches.
the entire time.
I don't
mean,
know what
it
you're
was-
talking
it
about.
was
I enjoyed
fun.
the later
Yeah,
matches.
It was fun.
It was
Yeah,
like
definitely.
playing chess, but the pawns exploded. It was the best.
Okay, so with multiplayer, ladies and gentlemen, whether you played Left 4 Dead or not, the multiplayer is 4 survivors versus 4 people that will take on special infected, like the actual special infected zombies. And you can pick. There's 4 types, and in each type there's 2 in the beta that you can pick from. There'll be a third at launch, but there's 2 that you can pick from. And even though they could be in the same class, they'll have different abilities. Like there's this thing called a bruiser and a crusher, but they're both classed as tall boys. And the only difference is the abilities that they use. You have the ability to earn points, like credits, and you can level up that class's defense, offense, like how much damage you do, and your effectiveness of your actual abilities. I think that's what utility is. Like if you actually.
It depends on the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them are just stun resistance, which is kind of OP when they're wailing on you.
Sure.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
appreciated that the Reeker's utility was you decrease their movement speed even more when they were in the goop.
Mm-hmm.
That was if
Which is
you max
super
that out,
good.
it was kind of punishing.
Now, Adrian and I, we ran Tall Boys.
Yo, what's up?
We both had a bruiser, right?
Oh yeah.
And I immediately took my points with each round, and I was leveling up our defense, which essentially increases our health, so that way we can stay alive longer. And at one point,
It also took us a couple rounds of the first game to realize that upgrades were a thing because we're big dumb.
Yeah.
Common.
oh,
But boy, once we realized it, it was good. Like DJ was saying, the upgrades were really interesting because I very quickly realized as a bruiser, all you need to do is get yourself to defense 3 and then max out offense, and then you're set to go. All you gotta do is just slam someone into a corner and then
Just
it's
have
5
your way
words,
with
26
them.
letters. What the fuck is up, Dennis? Am I right?
all right. So, audience, this is going to sound very BM. While we were
Oh, it
both
was totally
bruisers,
BM. That was disgusting. I feel bad for like 2 seconds every time I think about it.
we found a guy. He cornered himself in a house, and when you have 2 bruisers walking towards you, there is no leaving. All we did is we
Oh,
cornered
no.
him, and we
Yeah.
kept on hammer fisting him into the fucking ground. And every single time he tried to escape, we have an ability to stun him and shove him back into said corner. And we just kept on abusing this man in this corner. And when he went down, you do go into I won't say fight or flight, but like a last stand state where your teammates as a survivor, as a cleaner, can come and revive you. But we kept on bashing him. We kept on hitting him until he died.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like I said, that
Getting
was
a man
BM,
while he's down.
but we did. Trust me. That man was broken.
Was
Until
not
the time
happy.
We were done with him.
How many angry messages did you guys get from that?
Luckily,
none.
none.
We
None.
did get several rage quits.
There was a lot of rage
6
quitting.
people in one game rage quit. Keep in mind, there are teams of 4.
Yeah, we made an entire team of 4 cleaners leave the match.
Yeah.
That was
So-
hilarious.
So this game
That
has
was
the
one of the games
ability.
where I fell through the map.
say that. So this game has the ability to be very BM, which I do, even though it's toxic. I also
It's not
appreciate that
intentional as a bruiser.
but I do appreciate that as a. I grew up on COD. I'm used to people being toxic. That's fine.
Dude, League of Legends.
Ooh, not gonna talk about that
Yeah, I'm very
Nah.
used to that shit.
Anyways.
MW2 360 game chat, nah. Yeah,
Oh,
fuck
God.
League of
Yeah.
Legends, that shit was
dude,
cancer.
I love those game chats.
Dude, especially
Anyways.
with NW2. How many people has my mom slept with?
No,
Anyway.
seriously, I needed to
right
tell her.
now.
I needed to tell me this. How many?
Fuck you, I fucked your mom. Anyway, back on track. But the multiplayer, we thought we were dominating. We were having a good time. But then we hit that point of there were people that had strategies set out already. Whether it be you expand your party across the map, because just like Left 4 Dead, you spawn in as a shadow, and then you have to be far away from a survivor and out of sight to spawn. And the first group that we faced that did this, they all spread out and covered a good basis area of where we could be spawning, and we could not spawn. The only place we could spawn was on top of a building. And even then, they would see us coming immediately because we dropped from the building.
Sucks.
Especially with how slow a bruiser moves.
Yeah, you a slow boy.
And the way the
Man, closing
multiplayer
that range. Yikes.
and the way the multiplayer works is if you're on the cleaner side, you have there's a time there's a timer that goes up, and the timer is based off of either A, how long you can survive, but also B, how fast can you as the killers kill the entire team.
You basically wanted to beat the other team's time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you literally just want to set a time goal. That's all there is to it.
So
as simple as it is way more complicated than that.
like
Oh,
the Ridden, the special infected, they have to set a time goal of we need to kill all 4 of you as fast as possible. And when when the side switch and we're the cleaners now, we have to beat that time. We have to live longer than than the time we set. If you
I would
manage
argue it's the other way around, but you know, I feel like it's very much a cleaner based game mode.
Yeah, the first team that is cleaner sets the time, and then the next round,
Yeah, and
the
then it
next team
literally
that
scales
is
from there.
cleaners literally have to survive that amount of time.
Because I feel there's a very much a difference between a good cleaner team and a good mutagen team. Because as a good mutagen team, you can wipe a bad cleaner team, and as we know, under a minute.
because there was that one round where we lasted like 6 minutes plus, and all of us
6:37.
died to the storm. Because there will be a storm that closes the gap. It makes it easier for the mutagens to come and kill you, because you don't have many places to hide. But we still managed to last 6 minutes before we all died. And then all we had to do when we switched back to the special infected, we had to kill them in a shorter amount of time.
Yeah, we had to beat 6 minutes, which
It's a lot of time.
yeah, like I said, that was also the game where they quit, so can't really blame them too much for that one.
Can't blame them. But then the next game, we ran into a squad that knew what they were doing, and it was 2 exploders and 2 stingers.
Hey, but I'll say we did put up a fight. We at least were getting close-ish to the time that they set.
Oh, yeah, a couple of them
Yeah,
were
we
the
still
20
hit-
seconds difference.
Yeah, one of them was a 12-second difference. It was a
Yep.
really close game. That's why I'm like, I had fun the whole time. That was a great game.
Although we
Just
did
the game
learn,
after that was nuts.
we did learn that the Hawker
Yeah.
freaking infected is really good if used
A
correctly.
lot better than I thought it would be.
And we
I think it's probably 'cause
underutilized
I
the
just
shit
have
out of
trash
that.
aim.
Yeah, we didn't use
I
it
have
that
trash
much.
aim, so not my thing. I saw Bruiser and I'm like, that's the one.
That me too. After my experience with Bruiser, I'm like, dude, this is it for me.
I saw the Reeker and I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? I used to terrorize people whenever I got the boomer in Left 4 Dead. Let me just do this.
I loved being
That's
the
it.
Charger in Left 4 Dead. I loved being in a
I
charger.
love doing the charger when there was a ledge you can knock them off and just kill them instantly
Yo.
with. Oh, that was so
Yes.
fun.
Oh yeah.
It was very good.
That's one of the things that I'm thinking about with this current game with Back for Blood.
Yeah,
There's
it's got
only-
that mad nostalgia where it
But there's-
fits.
Not just the nostalgia, but there's only like 3 character types. Who's to say they can't make another character type with variants, such as we can have the birth of like another charger, somebody that just kicks the shit out of you, like charges you, beats the shit out of you.
Well, to be fair, they kind of mixed that between the I forget what the grappler tall boy is called. I'm sorry.
Crusher.
And the,
Crusher. Crusher.
Yeah, they kind of mixed that between the Crusher and the ability that the
But he doesn't
Reaper and,
repeatedly choke slam you.
We still
I-
don't know what the last one is.
Well, I
True.
understand.
Yeah,
that's
we
true,
still
but I
have
understand that,
a
but-
whole variant for all 3 of them.
Yeah, but the Reeker and the Exploder both have a charge that literally knocks you out of the way, which functions very similarly. I've gotten 2 kills that way.
So also
I
knocked
think
one
it's,
guy out of the map.
yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I think it's a good blend where like the abilities are there. As much as I would like to see an ultimate charger, I appreciate that like I said, the feeling is there. Like when I'm playing a Reeker and I'm getting up close and personal with that maxed out defense, I feel like
Oh,
I'm playing
yeah.
a charger just slightly better. You know what I mean? When I'm
And that-
playing a bruiser, I feel like I'm playing a tank but with better mobility. When I'm playing a hogger, I feel like I'm playing a spitter but with better mobility. Like I appreciate what they've. I also love the fact that you can adjust the common, riddance. I think that is awesome.
Oh yeah,
That is-
giving them
I
like more
severely
presence.
underestimated that. More presence, armored. Oh man, like
Oh.
I thought that was kind of bunk when I first saw it, but man,
was
I quickly
insane.
realized
Oh.
it helps.
That just reminded me, actually. Going back to the campaign, real quick, with the weapons that you find in the world, you can actually find upgrades in the world, like in the campaign, to make your weapon more efficient, like a barrel, a stock, ammo, laser, an actual sight. You can actually put on attachments to make your weapon more proficient and more scaled to, it's going to work for you when you find that weapon variant that you actually want to use. And there's a lot of them. So get good with all of them. But in the multiplayer, the weapons were fixed.
Which I also love.
You couldn't upgrade any weapons, which I think that actually kind of does work out, just because now it's okay. You don't have the most OP build on this gun, so you can take out the enemies quick as shit. We already had the ability to die fast as hell. Even with maxed out defense, I still found myself dying as a Crusher, and we had like what, 1,200 damage, like 1,200 health,
1,500
1,500.
Damn.
at max. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe
Look
so.
at that. DJ's getting his fucking competitive edge on. I like this.
Yeah.
Like I was still
it is-
getting
yeah,
rocked.
It's nice. And I
You're
on
learning
that
though.
note too, like I also really appreciate that you can't choose specifically what cards you get every single time as a cleaner. I think that really breaks up the fact there is no meta build for a cleaner. Granted, there's a meta selection you can choose. Obviously, like maybe playing mom with the either like the leader or the squad lead or the medic.
Squad leader, soldier, medic, and
Yeah, like I feel like mom can work really well with the squad leader, and the medic ones. Holly can work well with any of them. Like if
Yep.
we're being totally honest, like
Yep.
I feel like there's good meta selections you could have, but I love that you can't just be like, yo, everyone just grab a team ammo up, because there's no chance. There's a chance you'll all get it in your selection, but there's no guarantee that you'll all get it in your selection, which
Mhm.
I think is really, really nice.
Which goes back to the whole, you can either play a good support character and that you pick 1 or 2 cards that support the team, or you can benefit yourself so you have the best chance of survivability.
Or if you're DJ, you pick support and die.
Because for some reason, I pick a medic character, pick a medic build, pick a medic card set, and I
Play
said,
face
front
tank.
line.
Use a fucking bat.
Just pick
I was
Hoffman.
like, go
and
to the front
Soldier.
line, out of the
You are a
way.
face tank, man.
Glass
Dude, I was
cannon, more
Like,
like
DJ
it.
went down 3 times before anyone else did.
Yeah.
Told told you, it's in his nature. He's a gentleman. He always goes down.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's why he
because
doesn't
at
play
the-
spitters, because spitters are quitters.
but because this was like my first experience with this game, I got that heavy like Left 4 Dead feel, and I got lost in the sauce. Like I'm gonna go forward. Is there a guitar as a weapon? I'm gonna start hitting people. I'm just having a good time. It was so.
I mean, I
much
definitely feel the Left 4 Dead, but I also do like that they tried to make the game feel like its own, because compared to
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead, this is definitely a slightly more serious tone compared to the Left 4 Dead's more cartoony like tone, I guess. Is it how
it
silly
definitely
it
felt
felt?
like a campy B movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Brandon nailed it.
Yeah, literally, especially with like the movie posters for loading screens and all that. It's like
I
literally
missed that. That
like,
I missed.
like B-list zombie movies.
Well, that or you summoning an escape helicopter with a fucking rock concert and pyrotechnics? Really?
Yo,
Carrying
That'd
around
be
a
awesome.
gnome that
Yeah.
talks to you.
See,
Yeah.
like,
If you're in an
think
apocalypse
you-
situation, maybe you will find a gnome that talks to you.
Noam Chomsky.
You might be that far gone. You never know. That could be.
I will-
you never know.
You never know.
I will say that. I will say this much for me when it comes to Back 4 Blood, I appreciate the fact that it makes me think of Left 4 Dead, but it's not Left 4 Dead reskinned. It's its
Yeah,
own
it
entity.
feels comfortable enough to where you're like, I get it, but it's also its own thing. And
It's,
I
it goes
love that
back
too.
to that
Yeah.
whole, it feels like home, but a home we never been to.
Exactly.
It's just a place
A
you go
nice
to
home?
feel comfortable.
Like I've
A
been here
nice thing.
before, but in a different timeline, far, far, far away, where they agree and like the number 3, Gabe.
So this house has
Fucking
AC,
Gabe.
moonlight.
Lord Gaben!
Lord
Dude, you telling me
Gaben.
this for
Brought
makes
all the
Crush
bells and
nice?
whistles on this
Oh,
new
okay.
edition.
But the game, all in all, I think we can all collectively say, until we play Nightmare, this game feels nice, doesn't it? I like it.
I'm really
I'd
looking
rather
forward to
just-
Yeah,
full
I-
release.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
give
even
it
I'm
G
looking to
Fuel or
going back
something.
on the beta in a little while.
And
Like
I-
just
and I-
just to
Nightmare
play the
Night,
verses
let's
or
do
even
it.
just doing the game.
Let's just fuck around and
We gotta
find out.
get you in some versus matches.
Yeah.
see how you feel, see what you like, see who you like playing as when it comes to the special infected.
I'll probably be
I
the
think-
dumbass that plays the the exploder.
I was about to say I can see you as an exploder.
Yeah, I will
Yeah,
definitely be that dumbass that just runs head first in there and just blows himself up if I can.
I will say this: when it comes to the exploder, it's not immediate detonation. Your character will just straight up walk forward for 5 steps and then blow up. So it does.
Well, good to know.
It runs on a timer. So it gives the cleaners the ability to run away.
Yeah, it's definitely something to get used to, but I do think you will enjoy it.
But all in all, as a collective, fellas, thumbs up, thumbs down. How we feeling? I'm a
Two
thumbs up.
thumbs up. Two thumbs up.
Yeah.
Loved it. Thumbs
Yeah.
up every day of the week.
Hella up.
Oh yes.
And
I like-
I would say none of us can. We can't wait for the full release, which I believe is in October.
Correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Hell yeah, boys!
Fun fact on Game Pass for all that have Xbox and have Game Pass, it is going to be
Yo,
on the
for
Game
all us
Pass.
console nerds, unlike
Be there.
Brandon.
Be there on day one.
Yeah,
bro.
suck a dick. I'll have it on both because fuck you guys.
But way to flex on me like that. I'm just a working man.
No, seriously.
I prefer board games over computers.
Bro,
Anyways.
Anyways,
I'm just a poor boy. Nobody loves me, Brandon. Queen.
Are you
reference,
from a
sorry.
poor family?
Very cool.
You waited
Moving
too
on.
long.
I know. I know. I was just about to.
Brandon, cut that pause. Leave all this in
No, all
though.
of it- no, all this shit is...
oh, this is staying, but
Yeah, this is our ending.
Yo, no skill chalk moments.
Yeah.
All about it. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't played Back 4 Blood, I recommend it. And if you have played it again, and keep playing it. Get good, because they're gonna change it.
You know they're gonna nerf some shit right away.
Oh yeah.
Freakers.
Just like already, just I know this. They're gonna stop this from happening.
All right, Fraser, do you want to send us home since you brought us in?
Sure, why not? My name is Frazier. I I've been joined with by DJ,
Yeah.
Mikey, Adrian.
Yo, Mikey is lost in that Taco Bell Fraser's eating right now.
Brandon.
Present.
Alright, we will see you guys next time.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Till
a
next
wrap.
time,
You
y'all.
take two.